All right, we are going to look at lesson 10.1. And this is a lesson where we're going to be drawing some perpendicular line segments. You are definitely going to need your drawing triangle, and you are definitely going to need your protractor. You might want to also have a ruler. I'm going to be using my drawing triangle as my ruler because I'm too lazy. My ruler is really long and it doesn't really fit on my desk very well. So I'm going to use my drawing triangle as my ruler as I'm working, which is what I normally do. If I have a drawing triangle around, I just use it instead of a ruler. I'm thankful that we're doing geometry now because now I have this on my desk and I'm going to be using it all the time as a ruler. So we're going to look at pages 117 to 119. I went ahead and I folded my paper into 8 squares and I labeled it. And so I'm looking in my math book and we're going to learn a little bit about what perpendicular line segments look like. And we're also going to learn how to use a drawing triangle. And we're also going to learn about right triangles. Okay. So if I am drawing a line segment that's perpendicular, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a straight line using my protractor, right? And I want to make sure that I am measuring 90 degrees. So once I've drawn my line in, I can set my protractor down and see how I've measured 90 and put a dot. Or you can do it on an angle too. It doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight. See how this one's on an angle? And so then they've drawn the line at an angle, put the protractor down, and they put a little dot right here at D, which is 90 degrees. Now they can take a ruler. You can also do this with a ruler, but it's way easier to do it with a drawing triangle. If you do it with a ruler, you can draw a line that's perpendicular. This is what it would look like on this particular line. So AB and CD are perpendicular line segments, right? You have two right triangles next to each other. So this line is perpendicular to this line. You can write it like this. Line segment AB is perpendicular, that's the sign for perpendicular, to line segment CD. All right. Now we're going to learn how to kind of do that using a drawing triangle, okay? So we're going to I'm going to walk you through the steps to do this, and you can kind of do it along with me. It does not matter if your drawing triangle is this exact drawing triangle here that they're showing. It's okay if you have a different drawing triangle, okay? All right, so hang on just a second. I'm going to go grab. No, I'm not going to go grab those. I think they're all in the office. I was going to grab another one to show you how to use the other one. So we're going to follow the steps that they're showing us. And we're going to use, I'm going to use my drawing triangle to make line AB. And I'm just going to do it up here. I'm actually going to twist my paper, I think, so that I have more room. So this is line segment AB. And in the middle of this, we're going to put C. So they were showing us in the previous example that you can take your protractor, set it right here. You can measure where 90 is, put a little dot. And then you take your drawing triangle and you've got CD. CD. Hey, Jaden, it's this, your stuff's in the office. Okay. Yeah. It's, oh, homework. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you want to get, yeah, if you want to go around and go through in the office, like, is your bag still there? Do you still have a bag with stuff? Did you pick up your bag? Okay, it's in there, and you can check it out. It's on the counter. Okay. Okay. We do it once in a month or every week. Whenever you want. Okay. It totally doesn't matter. Whatever's easiest for you. Okay. Okay. See ya. Bye. Bye, you guys. That was just Jaden. All right, so we used you can use your protractor to do this, and you can measure it at 90, and that makes 2 right angles or perpendicular lines. Or you can use your drawing triangle. If your drawing triangle has a right angle, you can use that to also draw it in. It's up to you. Now let's do another one just for practice. We'll draw, let's see. Let's try another one. This time let's do it at an angle. So I'm going to do it at an angle. I'm going to label it the exact same way. A, B, C, right here. It doesn't really matter that it's at a weird angle, because you can take your drawing triangle, slap it down right there, and you immediately have perpendicular lines. You can also do it with this method, with laying your protractor down and putting a dot at 90, and that makes 2 perpendicular lines. So we could say that AB, line segment AB, is perpendicular to line segment CD, right? All right. Pretty easy, right? Okay. Now we're going to take it up a notch, because we're going to draw some that they give to us. So we're going to do 4 of them together that they have given us. Okay. So if I have number one looks like a straight up and down line, and it has an A in the middle. So it looks like this. All right. Copy the line segments. Draw a line segment perpendicular to the given line segment through points A and B. So I need to draw a line segment for that. I have my 2 different ways of doing it. I could take this and measure out 90 degrees. Put a little dot. Line it up. Or if I have a right triangle on my drawing triangle, then I can use my drawing triangle for that. Okay. All right. Now we're doing number 2. We have one that's at a slight angle. So it looks like this. So again, it doesn't matter what angle this is at. If I lay my protractor down next to it and I put a mark at 90, and then I use my drawing triangle, then I have a perpendicular line right there. Okay. Now, some of you might have drawing triangles that are not exactly, they're not 90. They might be a little bit off of 90 because I think they gave us some other ones that have other measurements. So I recommend if you don't have a drawing triangle that looks exactly like mine with this right angle on the end, all you have to do is use your protractor to mark it on there, to mark 90 degrees. Okay. All right. Number 3 says copy the line segments, draw a line segment perpendicular. And they have one that looks like this. It was good seeing Jaden and his cute little sister. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put I need to put a mark right here where the middle is, or close to the middle, or, as close as I can to the middle. Then I'm going to set my protractor on here, line it up in the crosshairs. At 90, I put a little mark. And then with my drawing triangle, I aim for that mark. It probably doesn't need to be that long. So I have one that's 90. And number 4 has one that looks like this. It's got a little bit of an angle to it. So again, they're just trying to give you lots of practice doing this because they know that you've never done it before. And so it's kind of a little bit tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and put my protractor right here, line up the vertex in the crosshairs, put my mark at 90, take my drawing triangle. Oops, I just put it upside down. Take my drawing triangle, line it up with my mark, and there we go. All right. Now let's flip over to the next page. So they have a whole bunch of things that they want us to draw. They want us to copy this figure, which we're going to do. We're going to copy A, B. We have a C over here and we have a D. Let's copy the figure, draw a line segment perpendicular to AB, line segment AB, and passing through point B. So we're going to draw a line segment right there. Okay. All right. I love instructions. I've gotten a lot better at following instructions. So I'm going to draw what I see in the book right here. And I guess I should use my drawing triangle to make sure that it's exactly lines up. So I have nothing there, no line over there, and then I have a line right here. A point right here. So this is AD. This is B. And this is C. It says copy the figure, which we just did. Draw a line segment perpendicular to AB and passing through point B. So if I want to draw something that's perpendicular to AB and it has to pass through B, then it's probably going to be 90 degrees from here. And if we want it to line up with B, now that was number 1. Done. Check. Number 2, draw a line segment perpendicular to AD and passing through D. So we're going to draw a 90-degree perpendicular. Right there's our point. When we do that, we've just made a rectangle, right? Extend each line segment you drew in exercise 1 and 2 till they meet. Label this point C. Okay. Done. What do you notice about the two line segments you have drawn? What shape did you form? So number 4, we could say all of the line segments are perpendicular. Perpendicular. And what did we make? We made a rectangle, right? We made a rectangle. Period. Boop. Okay. Now it says draw line segment AC. Name the two right triangles that are formed. So we're going to go like this. We're putting a line segment between A and C. This is a right triangle. This is a right triangle. And it's asking us to name the two right triangles. We're not naming them Bob and Jim or Sally and Wendy, right? We're naming them with their letter names. So we're going to call this triangle is going to be ABC. And this one's going to be ADC. Okay. That was pretty easy. Okay, let's do the last part. Number 6 looks like a doozy. So look at number 6. Figure A is made up of 2 identical squares. Copy and complete the figure on the right and form a figure identical to figure A. So copy and complete the figure on the right, this one, and then we're going to make it into figure A. So I think it's just going to be easy for us to do 2 squares, right? So let's do that. So I'm going to start out with a square. Now I'm going to have to measure the square. In order for it to be a perfect square and for this to work, we have to measure it. And that's why drawing triangles always have rulers on the side. So if I want to make this, let's make it 2 by 2. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to make a 2-inch line segment. And then I'm going to use my drawing triangle, and I'm going to measure down 2 inches. Now, if you don't have the drawing triangle that has a right angle, you can go like this, and you can measure 90. See how I just can do that with measuring 90? I'll show you the other one. So I'm doing that again, and I'm measuring 90. Now, the tricky part is it has to be exactly 2 inches long. And it's a little bit short of 2, so I'm going to go ahead, make it a little longer. This has to be 2. This has to be 2 for this to work. To be very precise. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw, let's see, how do we do that? We want to have a line that's 2 inches long. We're going to find the middle. So half of 2 is 1. So we're going to find the middle of all of these. Okay. Now, we want to have this be, it has to be 2 inches long. And we want to have a point out here. So I'm going to draw an imaginary line. An imaginary perpendicular line through the middle of this whole thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show 2 inches where I connect these two. So that looks like 0 here, 2 here, 2 inches. Now I'm going to go 2 here, 0 here, right on my dash line. That's 2 inches. This doesn't look very even. Why is this not even? Ah, that one doesn't look very even. I think this had to come up a little bit more like this. Okay, that's a little better. Ooh. And this one cuts off there. All right. So what kind of helped is drawing in the book. It doesn't show you that. Drawing the imaginary line in the middle helps you to draw the perpendicular lines, right? And once I drew the imaginary line in, which was perpendicular, then I could make all the perpendiculars, and I measured just 2 inches for each one of them. All right. Those of you that like to draw, this is probably pretty fun for you. I really like to draw, so I enjoy doing these kinds of copying things because it's a challenge. All right. I'm going to unscreen share, and I'm going to say thank you for joining me with this lesson. And I hope that this helped you learn how to draw perpendicular lines. Thanks for joining me.